Hey, didn't know you were following me, but since you're here, I'm Dr. Bruce Stagg. Welcome to the DMV. I'm sure when you think of the DMV, you think of mumbo sauce, wings, crab cakes, Capitol Hill, go-go. I've interviewed some people and got some facts. These are testimonies and facts you haven't heard about the DMV. In 1990, Tim Berners-Lee discovered the World Wide Web, and it became a huge sensation across the country and the world. By 95, the term online dating had been searched 135,000 times a month. By 1998, the term online dating had been so normalized that a movie called You've Got Mail, starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, premiered, and it really made the term online dating huge and impactful.
My initial reason for joining an online dating website wasn't either for love or for hookups. It was in the middle. To either, if you fall in love, that's one thing, but if you hook up, in my head, that's not a bad thing either. But it had to start somewhere, so I feel like online dating cuts out the middleman.
That's a very good question, let me see. I'm not looking for monogamy online, if you can say that much. I mean, I don't think I could find true love online.
So I was new to Baltimore. I had moved here for work, and I didn't know anyone. It didn't go anywhere, so it's not going to meet anybody. Except for where my friends live, which was in DC, and that wasn't really something I was interested in. So.
Emmanuel?
I just thought online dating was an extra avenue to meet people. So I thought it was a foolproof way to meet people, and that way you have a lot of information about the person before you meet them. So I thought it was an extra tool, I guess, in the dating world. So I thought it was cool.
I think mostly laziness.
Laziness?
I was looking for a partner or many partners at the time, and it's really difficult to meet people if you don't go to clubs or if you work in an environment where the people are inappropriate to date. I've always been a teacher, at least for the last 30 years, and it is impossible to date students, and it is not a good idea to date colleagues. So if you spend most of your day in one location where no one is in the dating pool, you have to be pretty inventive in finding partners. And luckily, the internet allowed that invention to show up. I was looking for somebody who had a good sense of humor, looking for somebody who was smarter than me. I was looking for somebody who had a good sense of fashion. I was looking for someone who would take my bullshit and tell me to cut it out. Somebody with a strong character and a good sense of self. She had to really know who she was, both good, bad, and the ugly, and be able to let me know all those things, because I was hoping to bring my honest self forward as well.
Sure, yeah, I do. I mean, I've known me like about 5'6", 5'7" girl, light skin, brown skin. I'm kind of into the whole ghetto red hair thing for some reason. So dreads or weave or I just love the color red.
You love the ghetto girls.
I mean, I'd say the hairstyle, but
right.
As far as the type of personality, I prefer them not to be quote unquote ghetto.
Emmanuel?
I wouldn't say I had a type per se. I guess I had some qualities I was looking for, and I was open to dating, I guess, people that met certain criteria. So I didn't have a type per se, but I had a few characteristics that I thought would work.
Can you give us one or two?
I definitely wanted someone who was pretty,
Right.
Educated, and just someone who seemed to be laid back. So those were a few of the qualities I was looking for.
Yvonne?
I did not have a type.
Mm-hmm.
That was was cast very wide with online dating. I wasn't looking for anything specifically.
Oh, you were just open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed, I am. Well, no. It depends on how I feel that particular day.
I don't think it's hard to find love in the, the general way, but I do think when you're on an app that people overanalyze things, just like you may do in a text message, because the whole thing is a text, basically. So if you try to find love the traditional way, I just feel like it takes more time these days, because some people, men or women, are just so afraid to approach people because online dating has kicked in so much over the years that people either take too much advantage of online dating, they're not themselves, they over exaggerate, but then in the traditional way you get to see who someone is when you initially meet them.
Personally, and this is just me personally, I never look for sexual partners. I think that sex is cheap, and I'd hate to reduce a relationship to the cheapness of one particular activity.
When I joined the online dating site, I was looking for experience in like dating again, since I had been in a long-term relationship for a long time. So I wasn't looking for something
Trying to get your
right
footing.
away. Yes, get my footing.
Well, let's see. I normally work on POF. Like you said, I normally will scan through pictures and see which ones look the most sluttiest, as far as their pose, their their attire, their tagline, their age, their location. All that really matters in what you're looking for. As far as if I'm looking just for sex, I know how to look for that. I think my success rate out of 100, I would say 45, maybe. So it's under half.
If we are talking about success rates in a successful relationship, I would say 0. Have I had my moments where I have felt love for the 2 people that I've specifically met off of dating websites? Yes, I have. But I would consider a success rate to be, 100% happy still with that person, and just over time, I just don't feel like, it's been a success. Because you have so many love stories from people who actually get married, who actually are like in 2-3 year relationships. All of mine have been 6 to 8 months tops. And I just feel like the first 3 or 4 months, some people may say the 6 months is still that getting to know the person process. And
Cupcake phase.
yeah, exactly. And I'm still in that phase. I never made it out of that phase.
I don't know how to determine a success rate, but I did find my partner, my permanent life partner, on a website.
Interesting.
So I guess 100%.
In 2000, Dr. Neil Clark Warren launched eHarmony with the intention of matching compatible couples. Just a couple years later, we got the launch of Skype, which was video chatting, and it helped long distance relationships. And just a year after that, we got the billionaire himself, Mark Zuckerberg, inventing Facebook, an online social media platform to connect over long distances, countries, whole continents connected through one platform.
Have I ever been catfished? The answer is yes. It's okay. By one of the gentlemen that I was talking to, I don't think he intentionally meant to catfish me. And then the other one was by someone who was random. The random person they called me over, said, hey, meet me here. And it was so much, generalization in the way that he was talking. He was like, I'm on the corner. No, you're not looking. I have on a white shirt. And I'm just like looking. And I never found the person, so finally he was just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not there. Didn't mean to do you like this. I just kind of wanted to see what you look like. So I believe that the person was there and they wanted to see what I looked like, but they never showed up. I've never seen what that person physically looked like. And then the other person that I actually talked to, I don't think it was a catfish, but he didn't have any full body pictures, so I didn't know how tall he was. And I just thought.
So are you saying he was very short or very tall?
He was he was shorter than me.
Oh.
And he was not the height that I thought he was. I thought we were at least the same height, but then again, I'm not that type of person that's just gonna judge offhand. I just was shocked. I just think that's one of those things that people should know, and he knew that. So he just showed up just as short as can be.
Yes, Bruce, I've definitely been catfished.
Can you please give an example of how you?
I mean, well, it actually was from the site called Tinder.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought I was meeting some young lady who was 28, a child. I mean, a mother of one. You know, about 5'3", dark skin, nice shape, real nice, beautiful woman, short hair, my type. Well, you know, I've been talking to her. Well, first I reached out to her by sending like little hearts and whatnot, smiley faces. We had a conversation. We talked for a good 2 weeks, texting, phone conversation, and everything, until we decided to meet up. I met her. Well, I met someone at the bar.
Hold on. So this was a completely different person.
Completely different person. The person I was talking to wasn't the person I met. I met her cousin. The person that she sent me pictures. Oh, by the way, she sent me naked pictures of her cousin as well. Very provocative pictures. So I was under the presumption that yeah, we was definitely gonna have a good time. I was so disgusted by the fact of what I saw and that I've been lied to that I just didn't even bother to ask.
Can you describe how she looked as opposed to what you saw?
Okay, well, you have her cousin who's 5'3". Mm-hmm. She's about 5'7".
Okay.
You have a cousin who's about pretty melanin, dark skin, Wakanda forever type thing. She was like buckwheat, like she just wasn't really attractive at all. Then I was drunk and we were in the bar, so it was dark. So, excuse me.
That right there is exactly why you got catfished.
You know, could be. But she was the complete opposite. I like, I like thick women, BBW, but she was BBBW. She was nothing of what I would like to associate myself with whatsoever. And the pictures that she sent me, I'm glad she didn't send me naked pictures of herself. So, you know, I wasn't upset at the fact that, you know, she spared me of that, but I was just more upset that my time was wasted, and I thought her cousin, that the one I was really interested in, was the one I was going to be able to meet.
I would recommend online dating to others. It also, I just believe it depends on the situation that you're currently in. If you're just coming out of a relationship, you kind of, you know, don't want to get out the house all the time, dress up and things like that, then I would recommend you start somewhere. Like I said, you don't have to, you know, go out and spruce yourself up. You can just start the texting and things like that. But if you're in between a relationship and people just do it for spite, then I don't think so, because you could find somebody that you like, or you could, maybe you know you don't like them and you're getting your, by that I mean you start to talk to this person, things can always sound good via text. So you start to talk to this person and you're feeding your energy into the wrong things if you're trying to potentially mend the relationship that you're in. Just like social media, people use that as an outlet of, you know, they're upset at someone, so they find someone else to talk to. So don't use online dating as a outlet to, you know, get back at somebody or find something to do. But if you're, you know, coming out of a relationship like I was and you just want to start somewhere, then I do believe that it's something that, you know, can become useful.
Online dating is the same as regular dating. It's just that you have a wider variety to scope out, that's all. Like, you might see people that you wouldn't see every day walking down the street. That's the only difference. Now, all the fabrication and lies and everything that goes into it, now, when you text and try to converse with them now, that's something that I wish everybody be prepared for, because not everybody's going to be honest with you online.
I would suggest that online dating is an opportunity for you to cast a wide net and meet the kinds of people you would not meet in your everyday life, and maybe learn something about yourself in the process.
I would strongly recommend it for many reasons. I think it's an avenue to meet people You definitely have a clear idea of who you're meeting before. You have some background information. You have, a lot of things about like the interests and likes, and I think it makes it easier. It makes the whole situation a lot easier to get along because you have common interests, and I think it's whether or not you're looking for something serious or something more casual. I think it's a great avenue to meet people.
Yvonne.
I know I'm biased, but yes. I know I'm very lucky. My friends have had a lot of challenges, but I think it's worth it. I mean, you don't know who you meet. I think that it's important to be open, but also to know what you want. So, to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily meet otherwise, but also to, when you're meeting them, know exactly what it is you're looking for and be clear about those intentions. And don't date somebody who's doesn't meet your criteria.
Online dating was such a broad topic that we went off script and decided to ask our interviewees a few bonus questions. Let's hear what they had to say.
I'll finish up here and ask you, are you in a relationship?
I'm currently dating someone.
Did that start online?
No, it did not.
So this is more
It
traditional?
did not start online. It started traditional. I met them at work.
Oh, that's not traditional. You ever heard don't dip your pen in the company ink?
I have heard that. My ink is a different color. We're going to see how this works out,
All right, I'm glad to have you here. They call you Cheek Man. Is that a
Okay.
safe assessment?
It must be, yes.
I hear terrible things about you.
Terrible good.
Absolutely.
Terrible mean good, right?
No, it does not. So, some would say there wasn't enough booty in the streets for you, so you had to go online to find out what was in the house. Is that correct?
That's a safe assessment, yeah.
If you were dating today, what would your Tinder bio say?
I'm not sure how Tinder works, but it would probably say something about my being a dad and being a teacher and preferring my coffee black and strong, like my women.
And may I ask what you're currently dating or coupled with now?
You're asking about my life partner?
Yes.
She is not of African descent, she's white.
So, on these dating apps and social media,
Right.
what stands out to you on a profile and pictures that says to you, she's down to get it in? What stands out to you that tells you that?
Do you have a phone? I can. It'd be better if I could do it, if I could show it as I tell you.
Absolutely, I do have a phone.
Right, I see that. Man, exactly. All I see in this picture is tattoo, her cleavage, and her shape, and her dress. Now, however she's trying to, portray herself to be, I don't really give a damn. I'm just seeing her body. So and then I'm saying that she's 19. So I'm like, okay, well, she's young, she's impressionable. I can just, I'm
take advantage of
I'm gonna take advantage of her. But I'm like, probably you do too, because it's your phone. So
This is not about me. This is about
it
you.
is about me.
Yes.
But I'm asking you the same thing now. But we're on the same page though. But as far as them being young, I mean, I don't want anybody my age because then they probably they know my game. They know my bullshit. They know the same lines I would run because they heard it so many times before.
What would you say your biggest fears were when you were online dating?
That's a really serious and a really pointed question that I'm gonna do my best to answer. My biggest fear was then that I might get in a relationship that wasn't working for me and the relationship would end prematurely for her. My biggest fear was breaking someone's heart.
Remember this couple? Well, their story took us to the vibrant, booming Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Take a look at their success story.
Well, that's
Yeah.
our first interaction.
Yeah, how was that like?
He messaged me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I don't remember honestly what I said.
I don't remember what you said either. But I know he was the first person that messaged me on the first app that I signed up.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said. I probably would have said something complimentary, I thought.
Probably.
After the first date, whereas, we hung out a few more times. And
And then, so back to that first person that I met on the app and I was a little anxious about committing or getting into something serious. So.
Oh yes, he was the first person.
Yes.
So at least he wasn't the last person.
Not necessarily. It was just that I wasn't ready to like.
You weren't ready to commit.
Right. So it took me a while to.
Okay.
Well, I just got really weird and kind of like weird. And then, did I really say anything? I said I was being weird and I was having like emotional challenges.
It was, from my perspective, everything was fine. I mean, I think in that first 3 weeks, we probably hung out like 12 times. So it was like, 2 or 3 days. We did a lot in the first 3 weeks or so. And then probably very, very suddenly in a space of a few days, she became a little more distant. And there was a clear change from 3 weeks to like the next following days. And then we had a discussion, and it became clear that she had was hung up on her previous issues. So there was no fight, it was an argument. I just kind of understood the position she was in, and I kind of stepped back a little bit. And I think that lasted for like a few weeks, like 3-4 weeks. And then probably a replica of what had happened again. So we started hanging out again, probably, a lot of times in the space of another month or so. And pretty much the same pattern of her becoming a little bit distant, and it was again clearly different from the previous 3 weeks. I would say the second time around, I wasn't as disappointed, because to me it just seemed like she had some issues that she had to deal with, and it had, the whole time I didn't really feel like it reflected on me. I thought it was just some outside variable that was out of my control. And so we did talk for another few weeks again. So this is over a space of like, I'd say like 3 months.
Yeah. And then on New Year's Eve, I texted him.
What made you text him? Because it was Vegas?
No, because it's him. Oh. So I was very special. So I told him I couldn't stop thinking about him. Threw my hat back in the ring.
I still wasn't optimistic. I thought it was pretty similar. I thought it was going to be the same thing as the pattern of what had happened before. I was like, we're going to start hanging out again, and then it's going to be the same thing. So I wasn't as optimistic about what could happen. And then she probably messaged me a few times, and then we agreed to meet. And I think at this point she was, she had, I guess, verbalized that she was getting over those issues that has held us back, and she was willing to kind of show that she was now ready to be committed. And obviously, because it happened like two times in the space of like 2 months, I was like, I had nothing to lose at this point. I was like, well, worst thing that can happen is the same thing that's happened before. So I wasn't, at this point I was like, well, we'll see what happens. And it looked like the same thing that had happened before was, I guess the chances of it happening seemed less and less, because it was a few weeks, and then a few months, and then a few more months, and then there was definitely a significant level of commitment that was not necessarily apparent in the first few times. So it still probably took me several months to probably come around to thinking like, okay, maybe this is now, maybe it's for real now. And a couple months, and then a year, and then another year, and then here we are.
Yvonne. Oh, okay, I see that you're back. Well, you've heard the facts, you've seen the testimonies, you've seen our perfect couple, you've seen our still looking singles, and our zany, weird professor. Tell me, is online dating worth it? Are you into it? hopefully this this movie helped you figure that out. I'm Dr. Bruce Stack. Peace. So, are you pursuing or in a relationship now?
I am in a relationship.
You are.
Yes, I am.
Surprising. Can she see?
That was a good one. Yeah.
Is she disabled in any way?
Not at all. I mean, well, she does walk funny now.